Welcome to our simple guide to finding information about land or property, including whether or not it is registered. In most cases, you can find information about a property by using our Search for Land and Property Information service, available on gov.uk. Type Search for Land into your browser and select the gov.uk link. If the land or property is registered, you can use this service to download copies of a summary showing details about the property, as well as its title plan and title register. The property summary is free, and a fee of £7 each is payable for copies of the register or title plan. You will need an email address and a debit or credit card to use this service. You can search by postcode, or scroll down past the green search button and disclaimer for other ways to search. For example, if you don't know the address, you can search the map. Simply select Search and follow the on-screen instructions. The summary tells you the property's address, the property description, its tenure type, for example, freehold or leasehold, if there are any restrictive covenants, if there are any easements, for example, rights of way, how much the property sold for, if known. What are restrictive covenants and easements? Let's take a look. A restrictive covenant is an agreement between two landowners where one landowner promises the other not to do something with or on the land. For example, a promise not to keep chickens on the land, or a promise not to open a pub on the premises. An easement grants or reserves a right over a piece of land or property, such as a right of way over the land, rights of drainage, or rights of access. For details of any restrictive covenants or easements affecting the property, you need to buy a copy of the title register. You might need to order the title plan as well, if the register refers to it. For example, a register entry such as "The land tinted blue on the title plan is subject to such restrictive covenants as may have been imposed thereon," which only makes sense when read together with the title plan, as you can see in our example. To get a free summary, simply type Search for Land into your browser. Scroll down the page to Search for a property and click the green Start Now button. Then, simply follow the on-screen instructions. Sometimes your search might not return any results. This could be for various reasons. Check if the address you entered is correct, or has the house name or number changed? Sometimes the land you're interested in and searching for has not been registered yet, so we hold no details. If the search returns no results and you can't find the information you want using our Search for Land and Property Information service, you can apply for an official search of the index map, or SIM. HM Land Registry keeps a digital map that contains information on all land and property that is either registered or is being registered. Based on an Ordnance Survey detail, it is known as the index map. After applying for a search of the index map, you'll receive a certificate, known as a SIMR, normally within 5 working days of receipt of the application. The certificate will show whether or not the land is registered, the title number or numbers of the registrations, the type of registration, whether it's freehold or leasehold. Let's look at how to complete the form. The example we're using is for illustrative purposes only. First, download Form SIM from gov.uk. Just before we start, here are some top tips for you. We need as much information as you can give us to help us identify the property on the index map accurately, or we might not be able to process your application. So, include all details, however small. And please remember to complete the form using black ink and block capitals. This helps ensure we can read it properly and easily. Please note, our example is for illustrative purposes only. Panel 1. Local authority serving the property. Fill in Panel 1 with the name of the local authority that collects the property's council tax or business rates. Panel 2. Property to be searched. Fill in the address of the property, giving as much of the following information as possible. Flat or unit number. Enter the flat or unit number. In the case of a flat or a maisonette, include the floor level in the description. For example, ground floor or first floor. Postal number or description. Postal numbers are generally more reliable than house names, which tend to change more often. If the name or number has recently changed, you'll need to give us the former name or number as well. So, if number 212B is renumbered as 214, you need to tell us this, as in the example on screen. Name of road. If the property is part of a new development, either recently built or in the process of being built, give the estate name and plot number where possible. Next, enter the name of the locality or district where the land is found. This is particularly important where two roads of the same name exist within the same town. Town. Here we need the postal town. This is the town or city that always forms part of the property's address. Postcode. Always state the postcode if you know it. This helps us to find the property in our database. If you don't know what the postcode is, you might be able to find it using the Royal Mail postcode finder. Search for Find a Postcode. Ordnance Survey OS map reference. If you know the OS map reference, add it here. In rural areas, land and buildings may not always have a postal description, and an Ordnance Survey map reference is helpful. Known title number. If you know any of the title numbers for the property, write them in here to help us identify it correctly. Panel 3. Application and fee. The application type is already written on the form for you, so all you need to do is enter the minimum fee for a search of the index map application, which is £8. We will let you know if any further fee is due when we process your application. For example, if more than 5 registered titles are revealed by the search. See our webpage, HM Land Registry Information Services Fees, for the details of the fee payable. Currently, we can only accept payment by cheque or postal order made payable to HM Land Registry for the minimum fee of £8. You can get a postal order from the post office. Please ensure that the cheque is completed correctly and includes the date and your signature. Panel 4. You must always complete this panel with the name and postal address of the applicant. Ignore the box Key Number, which is for business customers who have an account with us. Fill in the name, address, and phone number of the person sending the application. If that is you, put your own details. We'll send the search result to this address and we'll use it if we need to contact you. If you enter your email address, we will use this if we need to contact you for further information, but we will send the search result to your postal address. You can ignore Panel 5, which is for business customers only. Panel 6. If you are sending a plan with your application, make sure you clearly identify the land to be searched. You can do this by using a colour reference. For example, land shown coloured red on the attached plan. Keep watching for more information about plans, but first, let's go ahead and complete the form SIM. Panel 7. The person completing the application must sign and date the form in Panel 7. Let's look at when you should send a plan and what sort of plan we need to see. Send a plan if the land does not have a recognised postal description. This is likely to be the case if it's in a rural or undeveloped area. If you're not sure, ask yourself, would it have a letterbox? You should also send a plan if there is doubt about the exterior boundary line of the property. We call this the extent. If you do send us a plan, it must be drawn to scale and show the scale on the plan. Be a copy of an extract from the Ordnance Survey map on the largest scale published, which is generally 1 to 1,250 for urban properties and 1 to 2,500 for rural properties. Show the orientation with a north point. Use coloured edging, preferably red, to show the precise extent of the property clearly and accurately. Show the position of the land in relation to nearby roads and other relevant features to help us locate it. This is an example of an acceptable plan. This plan is based on a HM Land Registry title plan, which is drawn to the stated scale of 1 to 1,250 and based on the Ordnance Survey map. The land to be searched is clearly shown by yellow colouring. An arrow shows the north point and orientation of the plan, and there are plenty of features to help us pinpoint the property. Here we have an example of an unacceptable plan. Although the plan has plenty of identifiable features and is based on the Ordnance Survey map, the blue edging around the search area has not been carefully drawn. This casts doubt over the extent of the land and property being searched. The extent must be precisely shown or we will have to reject your application. This is another example of an unacceptable plan. In fact, it isn't a plan at all. We cannot accept photos, whether they're taken at ground level or aerial shots. We cannot supply extracts of Ordnance Survey map data, either generally or for conveyancing purposes. Maps of a house or property for planning permission and/or submission to HM Land Registry are not available directly from Ordnance Survey or HM Land Registry. To get a copy of the Ordnance Survey map of the property you want to search, you can find your nearest sales outlet on Ordnance Survey's website, ordnancesurvey.co.uk. We will send your Certificate of Search Result, or SIMR, by post, normally within 5 working days of receiving your application. The certificate will show whether or not the land searched is registered, or if anyone with an interest in the property has registered a caution against it being registered for the first time. The result will also reveal whether an application to register it for the first time or to register a caution is waiting to be processed. It will state the title numbers, type and tenure, freehold or leasehold, of property registrations revealed by the search. If the property is registered and the certificate gives you a title number, use our Search for Land and Property Information service to view the register. If you need official copies of the register and/or title plan, head to Practice Guide 11 for information about how to obtain them. Back to our Form SIM. Before you send us your completed form, check that all the panels are complete, all the information you have given is accurate, and that you have signed and dated it. If so, send your completed form, along with the fee, and if needed, a plan, to the address for applications shown on our website, gov.uk. Type HMLR address into your browser, and choose the address for members of the public under the standard addresses. We hope you have found this information helpful. You'll find more guidance on completing Form SIM and other forms on our website, gov.uk. For more short videos on land registration topics, subscribe to our YouTube playlist, Public Guidance.